Welcome back to another episode. I am Sticks. This is my best friend and co-host D-Lo, and we are too complex. We digging into a couple of topics today that's killing social media. But before we get into them topics, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss none of these bangers that we drop every single day. And make sure you comment too, because we want to hear from y'all. But hey, D-Lo, like we talk about every single week, how was your week, my boy?
Man, my week, you already know. It was good, man. For the most part, it was good. Spent time with the family. Got some good quality time with the wife as we allowed my daughter to visit with some of her friends last night. It was good. How was your week? I got something else to say, but I'm gonna ask you how was your week first.
We gonna do that. We gonna talk about that. But
yeah,
my week is the same, man. Still getting it's month 2 of the new promotion, so I'm still kind of getting acclimated and learning new things and learning more complex things that go along with the job. So that's fun. Of course, I got Sam here with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's always fun time whenever I'm spending with her. You know what I'm saying? So everything's about the same, man. Just working, making sure the podcast good, making sure Sam good, rinse and repeat every single day. So we chilling. What you about to talk about?
So man, this podcast, man, it's made me realize a lot of things.
Okay.
One is the main thing it's made me realize is I gotta lose some weight, bro.
Oh man!
Every time we record and I watch the videos afterwards, I look at my face. I'm like, damn, bro. I mean, I sound like a woman right now, but still, I'm like, damn, man, I need to lose some weight.
Bro.
I'm getting kind of.
You might not see it in my face, but I got this spare tire thing popping off down here. I don't like it, so I'm with you, my boy. I am with you, cuz.
You gotta get in shape. I mean, the other thing though is it makes me realize that sports wise, anyway, for real, is like I am not in tune with sports as I used to be because March Madness is going on right now, and a lot of the games have not gone as expected.
Exactly.
And since I don't really watch it like I used to, it's kind of like, oh damn, this is going on right now. Oh dang, they lost. Oh shoot. Yeah. So it's kind of make me want to watch it, but I'm like, I ain't wasting my time with it.
I'm the same way, bro. I don't really. So I've been watching a little bit of March Madness. That's mainly the time that I usually watch college basketball anyway.
Right.
And the same thing with NBA. I usually don't pay much attention to it until playoff time come around. Playoffs. So, and same with football, playoff time. Right. Sometimes I'll indulge in some tennis and golf here or there, just if it's on and I ain't doing nothing, but. Yeah. Most of the time over the weekends is whenever golf and tennis is happening and we either doing this or I'm at work. So
100.
So I'm the same way, bro. I ain't been paying attention to sports that much either, bro. But them current events, like stuff that's happening, boy, we be all over.
We own it, right? Just all over the place. Like damn, is aliens in our solar system?
Bro, a mothership dropping UFOs?
Like, Independence Day about to happen, bro. We need Will Smith, the old Will Smith.
Yeah, we need the old nigga. We don't need this new nigga. We need the
old. We need the
peace. We need that one. We need that. Yeah. We need Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to come out and kill these aliens because the new one, he too soft.
I mean, he might be more gangster than the old one though. Shit,
he gonna try to find the softest alien and slap him. He ain't slapping the strongest nigga.
Oh, okay. A little foreshadowing in what we're talking about today.
Little something.
You ever thought about aliens in any type of encounters, or how do you feel about aliens?
I mean, I think they exist. I think there's something out there in the solar system. I don't think we're the only life form or the only life force that exists, but. Since it's always going to be a mystery and a myth to me until one of the motherfuckers walk up in my face and be like, I am your leader. Like, you know what I'm saying? Until that happens.
I'm your leader.
I am your leader. Like, until that happens, I'm going to be like, okay, it's like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster that you don't know, right? You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
That's what I feel.
I feel exactly how you feel. I mean, especially with all of the stuff coming out now saying that there's multiple habitable zones that have planets that could house life. I'm like, I mean, I've always thought we aren't the only ones in this whole big grand scheme of the universe and all that. But for this news to come out, and then obviously the last couple months, couple years, the new planets being found that we could potentially inhabit. It's like, man,
cohabitate. Yeah,
it's crazy.
it's
crazy.
It is crazy out here in this world. But what's the topics for today, D-Lo? What we got going on? What's the real topics?
The topics for today. We already talked about one, kind of. We're going to talk about the first one is going to talk about the outrage behind Ciara's Oscar outfit, or her Vanity Fair costume that she wore to that party. We're going to talk about Chris Rock and Will Smith being back in the news after Chris Rock's comedy special on Netflix. We're also going to talk about the LA Clippers and their plane being struck by lightning and almost losing their life. And then we're also going to talk about Jay-Z or the virality of a question going around is, when has Jay-Z ever been the hottest rapper in the game?
That's crazy. And it's some validity to it, but we're going to talk about it in a minute.
Yeah.
So let's get into it, D-Lo. What we got?
We're getting right into it. Award season always brings out the A-listers and their interesting choice of attire at whatever show they attend. This year, in 2023, the Oscars Vanity Fair party was no different. Ciara drew criticism for her see-through dress she wore to the Vanity Fair party. A lot of backlash for that. Sticks, what's your thoughts on Ciara and her outfits of choice?
So we called it an outfit or lack thereof, right? If you've seen it, whichever, I think everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
She wore it. That's for damn sure. Yeah, Ciara,
good with it.
You look good with it. I'm looking at it right now. I need a mesh. Let me scroll up. a little bit. But to me, I think so. Everybody is saying, okay, it was a themed event. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people had the same types of outfits on. And I went back and I was like, well, okay, well, let me see who else had outfits like this on. And Janelle Monáe had an outfit on there. Haley Steinfeld had an outfit. Shay Mitchell had an outfit. Emily, I don't know how to pronounce it. Ratajkowski, I think her last name is.
Ratajkowski. Yeah.
So, and I also, okay, cool. They had something similar on. I mean, they were a lot more covered up than Ciara was, but they had something similar on. But I said, okay, these people had these outfits on as well. Are they married though? And I went back. Janelle Monáe, single, has a girlfriend. Haley Steinfeld, single. Shay Mitchell, single, and has said numerous times she will never get married. Emily Ratajkowski got divorced last year. And then another one, Hunter Schafer. She's in an open relationship. So it's like, okay.
So
go ahead. Interject. I want to hear what you got to say.
You know who Hunter Schafer is, right? You
Somewhat.
don't. Okay.
Somewhat. Who is that?
You do?
Somewhat.
So,
who is that?
The only where I know her from is Euphoria, and she played. She's trans. She's trans.
Got you. Okay.
So, like,
got you.
I mean, that I just wanted to say that.
No, that's fine.
It's nothing behind it. I just wanted to say it just to make sure you know who she was, because naturally, they're more open with that
very
type
true.
of stuff anyway.
But see, I didn't know that she was trans. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And to keep it 100, she a good looking young lady. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, she's from North Carolina.
Oh, word! I didn't know that either. See, I should do more research on her. But they're in an open relationship.
Yeah, we've been on Euphoria in this house, so we looked at all the actors and actresses of the show, and that's what me and my wife do for fun.
And I haven't watched Euphoria because I don't watch TV like that anyway. So, but it is what it is. But it's like all these women wore these same types of outfits. It's good, but Ciara's was the most racy of them all. Period. Like she literally had on that and a thong, and that was it. She was out.
Yep.
And I'm like, if I was Russell Wilson and I saw my wife come out the room with that outfit on, nah, bro. You gotta go change that. There's no way you wearing that to this party. I don't give a fuck what the theme is. You could have got something, you could have got a themed outfit that was a lot more covered up than that. You're not wearing that as my wife, dog, in public. No, period. Right. I don't know. What you think? What you feel? How you feel about it?
So I don't agree with the outfit. But in the grand scheme, it doesn't bother me. Like you just said, if she was my wife, that's the I think that's the thing that we have to look at is if she was my wife or if she was my significant other. So as a husband, would I have a problem with her wearing something like that? Absolutely. It's a hell no for me. But if my wife tried to step out and something like that, like you said, I think we'd have to have a long conversation about, what she's trying to do, what she's trying to accomplish with an outfit like that. But in the grand, at the end of the day, she probably would still do what she would want to do. And if she decided to continue to wear that outfit, then it would help me and guide me in my decisions that I make with our relationship moving forward.
For sure.
Now, to be fair, I don't think my wife, I think she respects me and my ego enough that if I requested
herself
her,
enough.
And her, well, we can get into that.
Yeah.
She respect me and my ego enough that if I requested her to not wear that, she wouldn't wear it. So but that's a moot point. We're just drawing conclusions and pacing together this ideas of what we're trying to get into. But ultimately, for me, it didn't bother me because Ciara is not my wife. I had to ask myself a couple of questions and to kind of realign how I felt about this, because I went through a wave of emotions on this. Like I said, my initial thought was, oh, hell no, she married. She can't wear nothing like this. But, the first question I had to ask is, how does her husband feel about it? Because she is married.
She is.
And obviously Russ did not care because he was standing
I don't think that's all the way true though, bro. If he was standing there with her, yes, but the expression on his face was this bitch here. That's what I got from it. But I mean, it's outside looking in. We don't know how comfortable they are with there. But at the same time, it's like you just left a prison where you were praising God, singing songs with the prisoners, and you all, holier than thou just last week. When you step out the house at this Vanity Fair looking like it costs $40.
Right. Man, we know it costs more than that, but
that's not what she was portraying.
Yeah. No. I'm saying the dress.
The dress costs more than $40, but it looked like that box costs $40. That's what the outfit.
That was over my head.
Like,
I got you.
No, it's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah.
That's why we here. But I don't think he didn't care. But I'm gonna let you continue with the Russell Westbrook point. The Russell Wilson point.
Yeah. So the Russell Wilson point, I just think we got to ask ourselves if he cared, and if he did, and she still went out, in that, then the dynamics of their relationship and how he truly feels about it, and if she continues to quote unquote disrespect him down the line, it'll play itself out, and she'll end up being like, their relationship will end up being like, drawing a parallel here, Megan Good and Devin Franklin, where Megan Good, we knew who Megan Good was before she got married, but then she married Devin Franklin, who I believe he's a pastor.
He's a pastor.
He's a pastor, right? And so she had to feel into that image of being a preacher's wife, but that's not, and this is an assumption, I don't know this to be fact, that's not who she is. She that's not who her true self is. She wants to be more free and whatnot. And so ultimately their relationship did not work out. And so if Russell Wilson does have an issue with this, and he just didn't make a big deal out of it that night, it will play itself out in the future. And then, their relationship will go the way of, like I mentioned, Megan Good and Devin Franklin, or any relationship or marriage when you don't have, you don't see eye to eye, you don't have open communication. But I'm going to say he didn't have an issue with it, because I don't recall the podcast. I want to say it's his podcast, but I don't know for sure. He was talking to her and he says, I know that you don't need me,
but you wanted me. I remember that.
But you wanted me, and I think that's sexy. And so to me, that's saying he's allowing her to be who she is, knowing who she was before they got married. As far as, I'm not going to say she was out there. We've had conversations about this before. I'm not going to say she was out there, but she definitely, pushed the envelope with the type of stuff that she wore.
Right.
So I think he's allowing her to continue to be who she is.
I can dig that. I mean, I think we looked at that comment, that statement that he made a little bit differently, as in, as far as who the woman Ciara was. Because if you go, and we're gonna talk about this here in a minute, but if you go, if you think about what Chris Rock said in that special, as fine as Ciara is, she could have worked at Burger King and Russell Wilson still could have married her.
Right.
But since Ciara was the pop star that she was before she met Russell, and she's been in the industry, that's what he meant by you didn't need me. You wanted me. Because she already had her success, she already had her fame, she already had her bread. She just, she wanted Russell Wilson because of the man that he was, not because of the status that he held.
Yeah. But
that's what I took from it. Not so, not with
Yeah. So, but staying on that point though, if he knows that she did not need him, but she wanted him, she had her own before coming into this relationship, into this marriage, and he knew who she was prior to that. If knowing all of that she did not need him, she wanted him, why try to change her?
It's not saying that you're trying to change the woman that she is. She's going to be her own woman regardless. But at the same time, you got to set boundaries in your marriage, bro. You got to set boundaries in your relationship. It's right here on my screen. This dress is crossing a boundary, bro. So it's leaving nothing to the imagination of our bedroom and our relationship and our marriage, because every man can get on the internet and see your entire body other than the thong, and some heels and some gloves.
And so within that Russell Wilson point that I was going to make is oftentimes we expect celebrity women to conform to what our expectations, as the general public, or what our expectations of what a married woman should be. And, that's not reality. They still have a responsibility to themselves, unless they just completely remove themselves from the industry altogether. They still have a responsibility to themselves to fulfill who they are or who they were prior to them getting married, in order to maintain the type of status that they have now. Obviously, you would want them to conform to what our vision of marriage is, and to our vision of what a mother and a married woman looks like. But there are so many examples of that's just not the case of how it's going to be. I'll ask you another question. If she was wearing, if this was, well, let me say it this way. What's the difference between this, what we're talking about, Ciara's outfit, and if she was on the beach wearing a bikini? That's what kind of changed my vision of what this was.
Different scenery, bro. Like, you're expected to wear a bathing suit on the beach. You're not expected to wear a bathing suit at a celebrity function.
But it's like, you said it in your initial statement, it's a themed event. So being that it's a themed event,
but it could have been a lot more respectable to her husband, though. That's all I'm saying. She could have if you went back and looked at all the other people who were dressed in this theme, they were a lot more conservative with their outfit. Ciara could have did the same exact thing. She could have did the same thing. And then going back to your point about having women conform to what people think a wife should look like. I'm not saying that you have to be, the uber submissive, and I'm not on that red pill bullshit. But what I am saying is that it's not conformity. It's more about respect. If I know, if my wife knows that, if I'm setting boundaries in my marriage and my relationship, and I know this is something that that if she knows this is something that I wouldn't like, then I would expect you to talk to me and say, hey, do you think this is okay? Or if you came out the room and I'm like, nah, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would expect you, and that's just having communication and creating boundaries. This is crossing a boundary. I'm not saying that Russell Wilson created this boundary for her or even said something before they left the house. He may not have. I don't know. I don't know what goes on in their household. But at the same time, she should know she should have the common sense enough to know that this is crossing a boundary.
And so, and I'm glad you said that, but whose boundary does it cross? Does it cross your boundary, or does it cross their marriage, Russell Wilson and her marriage's boundary? Because if it really crossed a boundary, and to the outside world, it looks like their relationship is good. They have good communication and whatnot. I would assume if Russell Wilson, actually had an issue with her wearing that and he addressed that to her, then she would have respected him enough to maybe still wore something see-through to match the event, because Beyonce wore something see-through as well, and the world ain't up in arms like that, or asking what Jay-Z thought. But I would assume, if Russell Wilson did say, "Nah, babe, let's not wear that. Let's wear something else," then she would have respected him enough to do that. So I'm asking,
I agree with you.
And this is the problem that I think it is we're putting ourselves in Russell Wilson's shoes, and not just me. I'm just saying the public is putting ourselves in Russell Wilson's shoes. We're putting ourselves in their marriage and saying, well, this is how I feel about it. She shouldn't have wore that. And in all reality, if Russell Wilson didn't have an issue with it, then that's why she wore it. Because if put it this way, Sticks, if you feel confident enough to wear it, and then your significant other is confident enough to allow you to wear it, and y'all ain't got no issues, I don't give a damn what anybody else outside of my marriage says.
I agree with that point. 100%. Yeah. I agree with that point.
And I want to go on record again and say I don't agree that she wore it, but
me too.
Not in their marriage.
I think everybody know I don't agree.
Yeah.
But we go back to the Beyonce, and I don't know this to be true, but in Beyonce, in the picture that we saw of Beyonce wearing her themed outfit, Jay-Z wasn't in the picture. I didn't see, but you will see pictures of Ciara by herself and Russell Wilson with her. I don't think Jay-Z was at that party, and I could go. I'm gonna go so far as to say that Jay-Z was like, "Nah, I don't fuck with that," and Beyonce was like, "Well, fuck it, I'm still gonna wear it." And Jay-Z was like, "Well, you can go by your damn self because I'm not going with you dressed like that."
But see, that's you assuming.
That's me assuming. But that's what I'm saying. Like, but that just goes back to your point where you said that if Russell really had an issue with it, you don't think she would have wore it. And I
don't think she would have, and that's me assuming too.
Yeah, but that's true. That's true. And I mean,
they seem to have a good enough. They seem to the outside world, the picture that they portray of their marriage. They seem to have a good marriage. They seem to communicate well. They seem to love each other really much, a lot. And so I would assume that if Russell Wilson said, "Nah, go back upstairs and try something else on," she would have conformed to what he asked and would have said, "All right, babe, okay." But because he did not, whether he said something about it, whether he felt some type of way or not, because he didn't say anything, everything was copacetic.
She went with it.
Yeah. Let's rock with his outfit.
True, I feel you. But my question to you, because she's done this. She's been all over social media on some city girl shit here recently with some colored hair, and
that's another problem.
You see what I'm saying? So, because this, all of that led up to this. Not to mention, she has a song out on some independent women shit, talking about how shout out to the women who don't need no man and they own this and all that. But just how long her and Russell Wilson been married? 6-7 years now?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Just before that, it was Ciara's Prayer. Now it's INDEPENDENT, like she Boosie. So it's bro, like, come on, bro. Like, so all of those things have led up to this. So now my question I want to pose to you is she turning into the next Jada?
The next Jada? You talking about Will Smith?
Yeah. Is she turning into the next? Is she going to embarrass this man enough over the next forever, however long? Is she starting to embarrass him enough to where now he look like he is a simp? To me, he is a simp. But
here we go.
Is he? No, but I'm just saying.
Controversy to another. Okay.
But from what I'm saying is she turning into the next Jada? Because she's doing nothing but to me, she's doing a lot of things to embarrass this man. So is she turning into the next Jada?
I mean, that remains to be seen. I'm going to go on a limb and say no, she is not. But I could be wrong. I've made wrong take. I had wrong takes before. I'm sure it won't be the last. So I'm going to say no. And the reason I'm going to say no is because I really can't answer that with a straight answer. My answer is no. I can't give any clarity behind it because I was getting ready to say she seems like and it's again assumption. She seems like a woman that is playful. She takes herself serious enough, but not too serious, and that she really loves Russell Wilson. That's what it seems like. But if I go back in history, I feel like that was also Jada Pinkett Smith. She was playful. She didn't take herself too serious, but serious enough to get things done, to continue to get roles, to continue to be a namesake in the industry. and she really loved Will Smith. But
Did
now
she
we're
really
at this
love
point.
Will Smith though?
Well, I mean, okay, we can only go
Will
off
Smith
perception.
was a backup. Will Smith was a backup to Tupac, and everybody know that.
But we can only go off of perception, though.
True,
Sticks
true,
and
true, true.
what we know. We can't go off of hearsay. And honestly, a lot of it is hearsay.
She said
I'm
it
not going to say it's
on her pod. Anyway, we get off topic, but go ahead. I'm listening.
what she said was before Will, it was Tupac, and then whatever happened to Tupac, and then she chose Will.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So yeah, Tupac, it was no longer here, and so she chose.
Okay,
Will.
I guess it's you now, nigga. You got to put up with the bullshit.
And then I mean, she gave herself fully in that relationship. You know, long story short, I feel like I was gonna say no because of all of those examples, but then you go back in history, Jada exhibited those same examples. So
she did.
I'm still gonna say no, but I don't truly know if she is or isn't.
Yeah, it's just all the things. I posed that question because she's done a lot of things leading up to this dress that have been some city girls type shit. Then she made the song last month, and now she bruh. So it's like she's embarrassing Russ,
bruh.
But Russ got to take the L. You know what I'm saying?
He has to take the L, or he looks like everybody's like, oh, Ciara, oh, dang, she looked good. Oh, and then he's like, yeah, she goes home with me every night. But the thing I want to say, and I want to put into this debate that we're having here is, what do I always say? You don't get too emotionally attached to anything that happens in Hollywood and celebrity because you don't truly know what's going on.
Very true.
You brought up all of this stuff that she has been doing in the last couple of weeks. Could this be what?
No, I'm saying I brought it up because it's true. Like,
it is true. It's true. But could she be doing this to promote that song a little bit more? To get the publicity? Because listen,
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, the reason I don't get caught up in a lot of this stuff, in the outrage, is because we know that they try to do all type of publicity stunts in order to get attention, and then that attention then draws us to where they really want us to spend our money or have our eyes go to.
Right.
And so she released that independent song or clips. The song hasn't actually been released until next week or so, but she's been releasing clips, and then now she has this dress debate going on. Everybody's talking about Ciara, and then next week she'll release a song, and it's like, oh shoot, this is what she's talking about. Oh, okay, I can understand why she wore the dress. I can understand. So you know what I mean. So, long story short, to all of this, no, I don't agree with her wearing that dress, but that's me saying if I was her husband, she would not wear it. But grand scheme of things, I mean, I don't care if Russell Wilson didn't have an issue with it enough to allow her to wear it out. Why should I care?
I mean, and it's cool. I mean, she's got a lot of backlash. A lot of women were killing her for wearing the dress, but there were also a lot of women who were supporting it and just saying, like, we don't know. Just like we said just now, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors in their marriage. Russell Wilson could have loved the dress. Right. Yeah, babe, go ahead and do your thing. But I was reading an article when I was doing my research, and it was a young lady that was doing the article. I forget her name. I apologize, young lady, but I'm gonna use your quote. And Ciara is a pop star. She was a pop star before she was married. She was a pop star before she had children. Attacking her success relative to her peers is of no consequence. She's an active artist, still putting out new music. So being outside in her draws at any given point essentially is essentially a professional expectation. No, you can't show up to your mortgage company Christmas party wearing that. So just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she's got some support from the dress. She got a lot of backlash. She's got a lot of support at the same time. And then she even went on TikTok and said, I'm pulling up with a bed sheet.
Yeah.
And she was kind of mocking
making fun of, making light of the situation.
She's making light of the situation. Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, do I agree with the dress? Hell no.
Yeah.
But do she look good though? Yeah.
It's the issue. The issue and the real problem is what we as the general public thinks a marriage should look like and what a
That's the
married
biggest
mother
problem.
should look like.
Yep.
And then we're inputting celebrities that we should hold to the same standards, but we don't ultimately, and they don't hold themselves to the same standards that we do. We're putting them in those situations, and the two, no pun intended, the two don't marry very well.
They don't marry very well, and just like you said, where we're getting too emotionally tied and putting our own emotions in these situations where we really shouldn't. I mean,
yeah,
they're normal people at the end of the day, and she's allowed to wear whatever the hell she want to wear. But you know, it's a lot.
Good debate. It's good topic.
It's definitely good debate. It's definitely complex as hell for sure. For sure.
Yeah, because you got to think about all sides of it and take yourself out of the situation.
I had a hard time doing that. I had a hard time doing it. I'm like, this is my wife. She ain't the fuck she think. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah,
it is what it is though.
Yeah. All right, in his Netflix special, Selective Outrage, Chris Rock broaches multiple polarizing topics. But that's not what made the headlines. In his last 10 minutes of the show, he addresses the incident between him and Will Smith. So much so that Will Smith has been said to have responded. Sticks, what are your thoughts on Rock's special and then also Will Smith's response?
The special was cool. He definitely talked about a lot of different things going on in the world today. He made a lot of good points. There was a couple of things that I took into it that really stood out. Was it funny? No. Like I can't say that I'm not one of those that's going to say I never thought Chris Rock was funny, because his younger years he was quite comical. But was this funny? I laughed once or twice, maybe. I wasn't belly aching, nothing like that. But he did pull up a couple of points that I did agree with. Like, one of the points that he said is that attention is a drug. Like, they keep saying that America has an opioid addiction and this, that, and the third, and now they own fentanyl and this, that, and the third. He was like, that's not even the biggest drug in America. The biggest drug is attention. And he gave the 4 points of how the biggest ways to get attention is: number 1, show your ass; number 2, be infamous; number 3, be excellent; and number 4, be a victim. And those three things, those four, that 1 point is the one that really stuck out to me. Is that even if you ain't got ass, show your ass. Go shoot up a school or go hop on stage and try to stab Dave Chappelle. Be infamous, be excellent. But being excellent is hard. The people don't want to get up and try to be excellent every morning. And to be a victim, the problem is, if everybody's a victim, the people who are actually victims can't get the attention that they need. So that point was a great point that he made in that stand up. Yeah. As far as Will Smith being outraged, in that last 10 minutes, he was like, he said Jada started it. He was like, what the hell? Like, the lady said I should have quit my job because her husband ain't getting nominated for an award. What you mean? Like, I mean, and went through the whole situation as far as the entanglements. And he said, I didn't have no entanglement. I actually called to get my condolences. Condolences was a crazy word to use. I'm not going to lie. Condolences was a crazy word to use in that situation. But he was like, I tried to call him and give him my sympathy and say, hey, I see all that's going on. But he said he didn't answer the phone. But then I make a joke on stage. And all of a sudden I want to get slapped up after everybody else in the world calling him a bitch. Now he want to slap the one he know he can beat. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. What you pull from it, G?
I mean, I felt the same way you did as far as the comical value of it. I didn't think it was funny. I know Chris Rock to be one of the comedic geniuses. He can take a situation that is similar to what he was talking about in this special, the polarizing topics, the selective outrage topics, and he can make it funny. So he has been funny to me in the past. This one wasn't funny just because I felt like Netflix paid him $40 million for 2 specials, but we all know they paid him $40 million because they want him to talk about this situation because it's going to bring views and it's going to bring new subscribers to Netflix. He hasn't talked about this publicly since
in a year.
Happened. Yeah. Right. And so now for him to have a special on Netflix, and him to let's think about the whole setup of the show. He spent 50 minutes talking about all this other stuff, and then the last 10 minutes he talked about the Will Smith situation. So it was live. The taping was live, but it was planned. He had to get the stuff off his chest, but in order for it to be what it was, he had to talk about some other stuff. And I agree with you. There's a lot of stuff that he talked about that I found myself like, that's a great point. But the comedy value of it, I did not like. It just wasn't funny to me. As part of, and the portion of Will Smith, I didn't think was funny either. He just really said how he felt. And,
he really said how he felt.
And try to get some comedy value out of it, but it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
I think as far as Will Smith feeling how so he didn't really say it publicly. It kind of came through somebody else through a back channel of how he feels. I feel like Will Smith is just, he's hurt because he thought, in his opinion, in his mind, and this is my opinion, that he was bigger than this situation, that he could say, he can issue an apology and he could try to like change some of his actions, and no external hurt, no external pain for him specifically would come from this, other than him losing, being banned from the Oscars for 10 years, and then also being not the other companies, the studios not working with him. That's not real pain for him, because really, if anybody doesn't want to go to the Oscars or whatever award event, they just won't go. Evidenced by how many times we've seen, and this is a way different award show, but Jay-Z and them not going to the BET concert or whatever. I'm not concert, award show, and then whatever award show. So if that being banned from an award show is like, all right, I just won't go.
Yeah,
or
facts.
Or I won't get any awards, but I've already gotten millions of awards prior to this. And the studio's not working with him. He has his own production company. If he really wants to make a movie or a show or something like that, he could do it himself. He has enough money. So that's not real pain. And being the fact that Chris Rock hasn't said anything about this until now, and now he said something, in the way he said it, I just feel like, again, in my opinion, that Will Smith thought he was above all of this and that nothing would come from it if he just said, I'm sorry. And now that the way that Chris Rock said it, it's like, oh, damn, I guess I ain't who I think I am anymore.
Nah, for sure. But we've talked about this topic. We did a segment on it, earlier in the podcast, and we kind of hinted towards it here recently too. But we always said that we understood why, number one, Chris Rock was trying to monetize off of this, because this actually happened to him on live TV in front of millions of people. So we understand why he was monetizing it throughout the entire year, and why he was sporadically talking about it here, making comments here or there, to bring that attention and that awareness to himself. So I can understand why. I feel like the only reason why he spent 10 minutes on it, and which was the last 10 minutes, because he couldn't talk a whole hour about it. He probably could. He could probably stretch it out, but it would lose its value if it wasn't. It would lose its value if he stretched that whole topic out for a whole hour and 10 minute live show. Plus, like you said, he got a two show deal on it, so he got to talk. He might have to talk about it later too. But it's like, he had to drag it out to get to fulfill his contract, and he didn't have an hour worth of content off of that slap. Maybe he could have, but maybe not.
Nah, I agree with that. He doesn't have an hour full of content off of that slap. But the reason I said what I said about him waiting to the last minute is because everybody's anticipating him saying something.
True.
It's kind of like a climactic buildup. You know what I'm saying? So he pushed it out the whole show to essentially get the money's worth, so people get their 100%. Money's worth, and then for Netflix to get their money's worth. Again, it's just like us with YouTube and any other platform. Those watch hours and all that stuff counts into a payout for him, right? Even though he's already got his money. But for Netflix is how long can I keep people on my platform? So he stretched it out into that last 10 minutes, and now it's like, bam! Now I'm gonna talk about Chris Rock. I'm gonna talk about Will Smith and this incident. Off topic, but that's why I said what I said.
That's all good.
I definitely feel like we will continue to see this go back and forth. We'll go through periods where we don't hear anything about the two of them, in the media, and then it'll pop up again, and they'll be going back and forth about each other until they have some type of communication, some type of conversation to discuss how they felt about the situation, to hash it out. I think we'll continue to see this, where they'll go periods where they don't talk. We don't hear about either one of them. And then shit like this happens, and now they both throwing subliminal messages to each other or talking through people to each other in order to get messages back and forth. I think they just need to, instead of doing that, they just need to come together and talk to each other to hash out their differences.
You took the words right out my mouth, bro. I was like, they need to come together and hash it out, because I mean, like you said, they send a subliminal message, or they send a message through other people, or like PR, their PR people just saying, hey, Will was embarrassed and he was kind of hurt by it, and it was a distasteful move by Netflix to actually air this special. But why not just get together? Like y'all were friends before this slap. You know what I'm saying? Even though the slap was a slap heard around the world, even though it was infamous as hell, but it's one of those things where it's like, bro, y'all were friends before this. And I understand that slap was distasteful. That slap was more distasteful than the special, to be completely honest with you. Yep. And, Will said that he apologized. We talked about his apology on the segment that we did back in the day. And I think we both had this.
Crazy.
Back in the day is crazy. Because it was episode 3, I think it was. That was like November.
It's like you saying we did this 12 years ago.
Right. But it was like, I think we both had the same take on that apology that he did. It was scripted, and it was used to kind of like publicize his production company and the water brand that he had, and that, the third. Like, was it really a real apology? And it came across as apologetic, but it was used to do something else, and that's probably why Chris didn't accept the apology to begin with. But it was like, I don't know, bro. I like you said, I just feel like they just need to come together and hash it out. Chris Rock said he already not going on Gayle King. He not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But they can have a special, maybe the second, but crazy idea. But maybe the second special on Netflix and his contract is him and Will Smith coming to talk it out.
That would be dope.
That would be a must watch. I ain't gonna lie to you. That would be a must watch.
That'd be dope. An open dialogue between them two. But I said it on, I think it was episode 3 that we did. I think it was episode 3 with those two.
Chris Rock. Yeah.
I said it then, and I still stand by it. Chris Rock has the ability, he has the freedom. That's what I said. He has the freedom to feel however the hell he wants to feel about the situation, and to say almost whatever he wants to say about the situation.
Chris has leverage, low key.
Yeah, and Will Smith can't do anything about it. You opened yourself up to all of this by going on stage and slapping that man, and he did not retaliate in that moment. So now whatever retaliation that he gives you verbally, it's warranted. It's warranted
100%.
You open yourself up to that. Now, should he continue to talk about your family? Maybe not, but he was talking about your wife. Again, I still think the joke at that time was distasteful, knowing the fact that even with Jada doing the things that she's done to Will, I still think that joke was distasteful, talking about her being bald, with her dealing with alopecia and all that stuff. That's just me. Was it so distasteful that he had to go on stage and slap him in the face? No. But again, Will, you got to take the lumps, bro.
You got to take that LG.
This is what comes with that territory.
You got to take that LG, but it also goes back to the point where everything leading up to that last year's Oscars, everybody was talking shit about Will Smith. 50 Cent talked shit about him. Drink Champs talked shit about him. Breakfast Club talked shit. Everybody in the world was talking shit about Will Smith because of the embarrassment that his wife was putting him through.
Yeah,
like Chris Rock even said, we all been cheated on, but we ain't never been interviewed about it. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't never been interviewed about it. I sucked this nigga. How you feel? Like, but it's like it was on the main stage. Like, nobody went on TV to talk about getting cheated on. And everybody was looking at Will like he was a simp. And it's like, Jada is ruining your life. And for a little bit there, even me and you talked about it, Will looks depressed.
Yeah.
He looked hurt. He looked down. He wasn't himself because of the things that Jada was putting him through. And for him to hop up at that moment, after all of that build up, which is probably what made him go off anyway, but him to jump up after all of that build up and everything that's been going on in the media, people been calling him out, and his wife been talk about everything on her Red Table Talk. all that buildup is what was like. It just boiled over and came out as a slap. And I'm just like, but like you said, to your point though, like whatever Chris Rock does to this point is warranted because Chris brought this upon himself. Not Chris, but Will brought this upon himself. So so you got to take them L's. Got to
100%. I mean, but again, to look to if you read or if you have read Will Smith's book, I feel like this was coming at some point in time because he talks about wanting to please everybody, and then but ultimately, his family means more to him than anything. And so, if his family's not happy, then he's not happy.
I can feel that. You probably can feel that too. Yeah,
right, 100%. And so, if excuse me, and so if Jada at the award show looked at him and was like, "Oh, you laughing? Yeah, okay." And because he was laughing when it first,
he was 100%.
I don't know if the joke actually registered or if he just like, oh, he said Jada name, let me, you know what I mean? But then when she looked, it was like, oh, all right, let me
just hurt her feelings.
So that was him trying to please her, but not really thinking about the conflict, conflict, not really thinking about the consequences after he did what he did. And now we're at the consequences and it's like,
but could he have just said what he said after the slap? Could he just said that, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth? Could he have just said that and opposed to hopping up and slapping him? He could have just said that, right?
He definitely could have just said that, but I think because of, again, the perception of who Will Smith is to the general public, it would have probably been it might not have been as bad, but it would have been almost as bad because we've never seen Will Smith act like that.
True.
And so for him to take the slap away, for him to be yelling at an award show and cussing like that, it's like, what's going on with Will Smith? Is Will Smith on drugs? Is you know what I'm saying?
But that would have been.
Is he truly not happy in his marriage? What's going on?
But you could tell he wasn't. And so my point is that would have blown over easier than slapping Chris Rock.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, he could have dealt with all the assumptions about him being crazy or being unhappy or being on drugs and this, that, and the third. He could have been, or being drunk or whatever. He could have dealt with that more easier than slapping Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? You said, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. After you done slapped this man, you could have just said that to begin with. And she probably still would have been just as happy with you defending her. By just saying that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, it gets to a point where you got to look at a bunch of different situations and you got to take it, like you said, we keep saying all the time, you got to take yourself out of it, take your emotions out of it, because it's complex to the point where we're starting to talk about different people's feelings and different people's actions and the way we're assuming their actions and and why they reacted the way they did. And it's like, but Chris was right. Chris was right though. And he has all right to monetize it the way that he is, and he has all right to talk about it the way that he is. He's not going to put any action behind it because he said it in his special. He's significantly bigger than me. Like I can't beat this nigga. Like so, but he slapped the one person he knew he could beat. He ain't slapped nobody else. He ain't gonna slap 50, but he can slap Chris Rock though. You know what I'm saying? So he said it was a I'm trying to keep as you know, trying to keep myself cousin. But he said that was a bitch ass move. The podcast appreciates it, right? But he said it was a bitch ass move. Like you slapped the one dude you knew you could beat. Yeah. So I agree with Chris, but I also want Will to literally like have a sit down with Chris and say, hey, we need to squash this shit because it's getting out of hand.
That's exactly how I was going to finish this segment. Is the best way for them to move past this is to have some type of meaningful conversation where they either hash their feelings out or they agree to disagree and move forward rather than going tit for tat back and forth.
100%.
Because until that happens, we're going to continue to see them go back and forth subliminally or through somebody else to get a message out where it's like, man, y'all just talk to each other. It's Hollywood is small. So y'all have the room and you will bump heads or run into each other enough to where y'all can have a conversation rather than avoiding this whole situation and just trying to, keeping shit in the news.
That's for sure. It just needs to get squashed ASAP because I'm a low key getting tired of hearing about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But somebody getting paid off of it.
100%. It is Chris.
It's Chris. All right. So last year, the Los Angeles Clippers experienced a frightening plane ride as they were traveling to play the Denver Nuggets, where lightning struck their plane and they lost altitude.
Whew.
Sticks.
Sheesh.
What are your thoughts on this now? This happened in February, and we're just now hearing about it. February 2022, that is. And we're just
whoa. I thought this was just last month.
No, sir. This was last year.
Last year?
Let me make sure. I believe this was last year.
Huh?
Yeah.
No way, bro.
Let me make sure.
Nah, because NBA Central talked about it on March 15, 2023. So this was just last month. Bones Holland wasn't on the. Bones Holland's a rookie. He wasn't on the team last year.
Okay, well, I apologize.
All good.
Last year.
So
last month.
So whenever that was my thing, and I think whenever you sent me this topic, I was like, well, why are we just hearing about this now? It's almost a month later, but I had to put because I've flown a lot in my life. You know, I had an athletic career at one point. You know, it ain't that same way now, but I've had an athletic career at one point, and I had to put myself in them shoes, and I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, that's unfortunate. They literally almost lost their life. Like it lost, according to the report, it lost significant altitude, and it dropped in altitude several times from getting struck. Yeah, facts. And I know turbulence is already scary enough whenever the plane get to shaking, but whenever you drop
your stomach,
what, bro? What? Whenever you on a plane and that joint drop crazy, bro, that's a crazy feel. I might something like this. I might fuck around, shit on myself. But
and you hear the go ahead, finish. We
no, you hear what? You hear what? You hear what you say?
You don't hear the planes. Damn, why can't I think of the propeller? Engine going,
yeah, right.
Yeah, you don't hear that going, and you just losing out. Ooh, listen, bro, I might not ever get on a plane again if that happens.
What? Ain't never doing it. But I had to think back because I asked myself, how often does this happen? Because the planes are so high in the air, and you know, there's a thunderstorm literally happens every day. It just doesn't hit the surface. So I had to ask myself, how often does this happen? So I looked it up, and there's a company called Mainblades. It's an aircraft tech company out of the Netherlands. And they're saying planes being struck by lightning is a fairly common occurrence. So at some point in my life, I've flown a plane rode in a plane that has been struck by lightning, possibly. It just wasn't to the magnitude of the Clippers plane dropping in altitude the way it did a couple of times. But it says on average, every commercial aircraft is struck by lightning once or twice a year. At any given moment, there can be as many as 1,800 thunderstorms happening simultaneously. That averages out to 40 to 100 lightning strikes every second worldwide. So being struck by lightning is more likely than hitting the lottery. But at the same time, it's like,
in a plane, that is.
On a plane at the same time. In a plane.
Yeah.
So that joint is crazy. And it also said, according to the International Air Transportation Association, an aircraft is struck by lightning every 1,000 flight hours, which is equivalent to one strike per aircraft per year. So every aircraft is getting struck by lightning. It just wasn't to this magnitude. It's just not to this magnitude that the Clippers plane, their private plane at that, got struck. Yeah. So I was like, bruh.
Yeah, so that's news to me, honestly. That planes get frequently struck by lightning, because you typically, and I don't know if this is like from movies or TV shows, cartoons, or whatever, but you typically think that planes fly above the clouds if they can.
Typically,
possible, right?
If they can, possibly.
Like they fly above storms because thunderstorms are usually low. So that's news to me.
Right. But you got to think of like you know, like those. If you ever had one of those like electricity lamps where you touch it and the electricity goes to your hands,
yeah,
kind of like that. Like the electricity in the air that goes above. It's going to magnetate to something that has energy. So it's like your fingers on that globe. It's the same thing. They're going to get struck. Like the electricity is going to come to the plane, but it's going to be just like your hand. Like it's not going to hurt you, but it's going to touch you know what I'm saying? So the same concept.
Still crazy to think about, and the frequency of not just the Los Angeles Clippers plane being struck, but just planes in general. I'm now debating on if
one strike
crazy.
per aircraft per year.
That's
per
crazy.
aircraft. You know how many aircrafts it is in the world? They get struck at least once a year, at least.
Right. And so when I first read this story, my first response, obviously, I had the dates wrong. I thought it was last year, but even still, even if it isn't last year and it was in February, why are we just now hearing and reading about this 4 days ago? That's almost 3 weeks that we heard about it. And to me, it says a lot about the Los Angeles Clippers players that and to my knowledge, they weren't on Twitter or anywhere else talking about, man, we almost died. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I just can't imagine everybody on that plane, whether even if you sleep and you feel a little bit of turbulence, that wakes you up. So I can't imagine being on a plane, being on a plane, being a professional athlete, get ready to go play a team or traveling to go play a team, and then the plane gets struck by lightning, the engines go dead, we lose in altitude. Do you know how your stomach is feeling,
bro? That's got to be a crazy feeling, G.
Man,
it's crazy.
I honestly don't think. Listen, okay, because they fly during the season almost every day, especially on the road trips. So we're gonna have to bus, bro. You're gonna get me a luxurious bus. I'm gonna be John Madden from here on out.
They're gonna be John Madden. So you gonna bus from LA to Brooklyn when they gotta play the Nets?
Hey, I mean, listen, we better leave. We better leave well in advance, not take any stops. Because I do not think if I ever experience something like that, because I'm pretty
facts.
I'm pretty cool with planes right now. I mean, I've been through turbulence and stuff like that, so I know what that feels like. But I don't think, me personally, if I felt anything like an altitude drop and felt like I was going to die in a plane, I don't think I would ever get on a plane again. I just wouldn't be traveling.
I'm just like you. If I felt what they felt, because Bones Holland said, not gonna lie, we thought it was over with. Like if I'm on a plane and I say something, I have to say something like that, I'm thinking something like that I'm thinking it's over with. I'm not getting on the plane no more.
Nah, I'm not getting on the plane no more. For me,
ain't no out of country trips. I ain't visiting nowhere. I'm not a tourist no more. If it ain't in driving distance, which for me now, shoot, Washington, I done drove from North Carolina to Washington. Anywhere is driving distance for me at this point. Anywhere in the nation is driving distance for me at this point. I will drive, dog. I'm not getting on no flight no more if I felt something like that, dog. No way.
I don't think I'd be a professional athlete anymore.
It's gonna take your career?
If they saying they have to fly, and I'm like, nah, after what we just went through,
there.
If you can't accommodate my request, then I put my resignation in from the NBA.
I'm retired. That nigga D-Lo gonna retire. D-Lo gonna retire,
bro. Y'all got it. We got struck by lightning, and I thought I saw my life flash before my eyes.
I'm gonna tell Coach, hey, where we going next game? Oh, we going to Indiana? I'll meet y'all there. I got the car. I'll meet y'all there.
Or I'm gonna pull a Kyrie. I only play my home games.
Facts. 41 games a season, player.
Yeah. You can adjust my contract to.
I was just about to say that.
And that's the right. Hey, we can get
I'm making $100 million. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can give me 50 if you want. Like, you know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah.
I'm paying half the games, give me half the pay. Might as well.
It's crazy to hear that though, man. Like when I read it, I was like, they lost altitude multiple times and they thought they was gonna die.
Bro. Could
you imagine what the NBA, how the mourning, the amount of mourning in the NBA, especially, this is another thing that complex, especially with the situation that happened with Kobe in LA, bruh. And then it's another LA team. That could you imagine,
bruh,
all the type of stuff that would be going on in LA?
Oh my God, I didn't even think about it in the sense of the Mamba, dog, because he just that's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, they would have. Boy, LA would never be the same. I mean, never. Obviously, people like the Clippers, but they like the Lakers more in LA. But put those two together to lose somebody that's attached, or a team that's attached to LA, and then one of the greatest players of all time to lose his life in an aircraft carrier too. Yeah, I
That's
don't know, dog.
crazy. But even Ty Lue made a little joke. He was like, our luck was so bad that month, even we got struck by lightning. Because they were on a 5-game losing streak at that time, right before the All-Star break, and then the lightning strikes. Like, bro, what? Like Ty Lue was like, bro, we got so much bad luck. We even get struck by lightning, dog. That's just crazy. But they ended up picking it up ever since. I think they didn't hear recently they went on like a 4 or 5 game win streak. Yeah. And they got Russell Westbrook, which is, I guess, a pretty good addition off the bench for him now. So they've been hooping. They've been hooping. If they could just if Kawhi can just stay healthy and PG go crazy, they'll be all right. They're gonna be straight. But I'm glad. Thank God, dog, that this plane didn't actually lose enough altitude to crash, because that would have been crazy, bro. That would have been some, like D-Lo said, that would have been some mourning. That would have been some smoke in the city. If that thing would have went down like that, dog, that's crazy.
100%. Yeah. I ain't have nothing else to say about that.
Nothing else.
Damn. All right. So it's been questions about what year has Jay-Z ever been the best or hottest rapper in the game? Some claiming he's never been the best or hottest. Others claiming, when has he not been the best or the hottest? Sticks, what's your take on this?
So when I saw this video 2 nights ago, I was like, this could be a pretty good topic, because me and D-Lo are both, we're both fans of Jay-Z. Love Jay-Z's music. Has had some amazing albums over the years. Yep. But the video in question broke it down by year basis. He went from 96 all the way up to 2011, I think he went. Yeah, all the way up to 2011.
Yep.
So in that 15-year span, this man said Jay-Z has never been the hottest rapper in the game. So I'm gonna go year by year, and we can talk about it from there. So 96, he said Jay-Z first came in the game, but he said that was Tupac's year. And me, I kind of agreed with him, but this was a kind of a toss-up. 96 was a toss-up for me, because honestly, I would take Reasonable Doubt, which was his first album. I would take Reasonable Doubt over All Eyes on Me. So Reasonable Doubt had both of them had 4 singles that came off of that album. Reasonable Doubt had Dead Presidents, Ain't No Nigga, Can't Knock the Hustle, and Feeling It. All Eyes on Me had California Love, 2 of America's Most Wanted, How Do You Want It, and I Ain't Mad at You. To me, thinking about those singles and thinking about the album itself, I would much rather have Reasonable Doubt. So 96 was a toss-up. What you think about 96?
We're talking about it as if we knew what the album was going to be, or as if we're talking about it as if we've already known what the album has done, right? We're not talking about it actually living in it. So I'm going to say, me knowing what I know now, obviously, but me not knowing what I know now, I'm going to say I would have chosen Tupac, just because.
Really?
No, and listen, let me
go ahead.
But hold on, let me paint this picture for you. Before the 2000, when did LimeWire and all that that sharing, the downloading, illegal downloading start? What, 2003?
2004, yeah. We were, it was a little bit before that. No, it was
before that. It was like
99, 2000,
yeah. Yep. Okay. So before that, artists getting their buzz, it didn't come from the internet. Now you can get on the internet and you get a buzz just by putting something on YouTube or on SoundCloud. That wasn't a hustle back in the day. The hustle was you passing out CDs at local shows, and you get a regional buzz. Then you create a album, and then the album goes. So I say all that to say, if that was Jay-Z's rookie album, and he's going up against Tupac, of course I'm going to pick Tupac. Tupac was established, Jay-Z was not. Because you didn't get your buzz that way.
I can see that. Me personally, I would still take Reasonable Doubt over All Eyes on Me. Even though both of them were great albums. Both of them were great albums.
And it's also because you're looking at it from a historical perspective and not a current perspective.
I fuss with that. All right, so the next one was 97, and all he said in 97 was Biggie died. Okay. At the time, Biggie was the biggest rapper at the time, and he didn't drop an album in 97. So, okay, cool. Biggie got it, whatever. Then he said 98, 99, he said that was DMX. And honestly, he might be right. Not gonna lie. Because he dropped It's Dark and Hell is Hot, which is still a classic album to this day.
How many albums did that sell?
Let me go to it. Hold on. I got it right here, my G. Hold on. Let me see. I actually got to look it back up. Hold on.
No, good. I mean, if it's stopping the flow, don't worry about it.
Nah, it's all good. I had it. Man, where did it go? See, it's slowing me down. It's slowing me down.
Don't worry about it. Go on about it. I'll look it up.
There you go. I got it right here. So it sold. It's Dark and Hell is Hot sold. It was 4 times platinum.
Okay.
So 4.8 million units were sold. 4 times platinum.
Okay. Jay-Z sold 5.4 million
total
for Hard Knock Life. Yeah.
Hard Knock Life. That's what I'm saying. So I was about to get into that. But see, then in 99, he dropped Flesh of My Flesh, Blood in My Blood. And then he also dropped in that same year, and then there was X. So he dropped 3 albums in the span of a year.
Yeah.
That's a toss-up, which is a toss-up because in those same years, Hard Knock Life dropped, and then Volume 3 dropped. Mm-hmm. So I think DMX was probably hotter, but I don't think he definitely didn't outsell him, and I don't think that 98, 99 might be a toss-up too. But DMX 100%. Was definitely a toss-up because Hard Knock Life was a great album, but so was Dark as Hell is Hot. That's probably my favorite DMX album of all time.
Yeah.
Me personally.
Yeah. We was all on DMX.
All on DMX. But that first album was a banger, bro. What?
Yeah.
That first album was a banger. Okay, so what you think? You think it's a toss-up too?
I think it's I think it's a toss-up, yeah. I think it's a toss-up.
Okay,
and
cool.
The reason I'm stammering to say it is because to me, like people, this clip that we're working off of today for this segment, it's no real set parameters.
Very true. But all he said was that Jay-Z was never the hottest rapper in the game.
Best. He said hottest or best. So how do you determine who's the hottest or who the best if the parameters aren't set? Because are we going off of sales? Are we going off of awards? Are we going off of features? Are we going of just popularity? What is the parameter?
I think what he's going off of is I think record sales. I guess buzz. I think what he's going off is sales and buzz. And if that's the case, DMX had more buzz, but Jay-Z had more sales.
And that's why it can be a toss-up. It's a toss-up. Yeah.
It's a toss-up there in 98, 99. Okay. So then, but see, if that's the case, then we would have to give it to Jay-Z because of what you said about Tupac. Tupac was already established, and so was Jay-Z by the time DMX came in, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So we could give 98, 99 to Jay just because he was already established because he okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
So then he said 2000, he said it was Nelly and Eminem both went diamond.
Okay.
Crazy. He said Country Grammar was a classic. Marshall Mathers LP was a I still listen to those 2 albums to this day too.
Right.
And I said, I'm going to be controversial and say that Eminem top 3 at least.
That's not controversial to me.
Okay, because I get into arguments all the time about Eminem being probably, if not the GOAT, but at least top 3. At least. At the very least, top 3.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, he's definitely in the argument for Mount Rushmore.
100%
of hip hop.
100%. Okay,
we're talking about lyrics.
So 2000, we both agree that Nelly and Eminem was both hotter than Jay-Z at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You gave a little smirk. I don't know.
No, I said yeah.
Okay. So 2000, he said it was Luda, but Luda didn't outsell Jay. I don't think Luda was hotter than Jay at the time.
2000 or 2001?
2001.
Okay. And we talking about the blueprint.
That's what I'm saying. That's the same thing I said, bro. The blueprint? I'm not taking Luda over the blueprint.
The blueprint, I mean, and Luda lyrically is good, especially with the southern flow that he had. We know what his albums did, but the blueprint sold 2.7 million. So did Luda sell 2.7 million?
No.
This is where
hold up.
Maybe
let me see.
That's where I went with the argument.
He sold 4 mil. He went 4-time platinum.
Okay.
He went 4-time.
But the blueprint, what was that album?
Word of Mouth.
Word of Mouth. I mean, the blueprint to me, the blueprint to me, and this is just an opinion. The blueprint to me still stands the test of time compared to damn word of mouth. What was on word of mouth?
Not really, because word of mouth had area codes, it had rollout, it had Saturday, it had move, bitch. We still listen to those.
Yeah,
all four of those we still listen to. But as far as the album itself, I can listen to the whole Blueprint front to back. I can't listen to the whole word of mouth front to back.
Right.
So yeah, Blueprint got it. Jay-Z was definitely hotter in 01 than Luda.
Yeah, then, I mean, the thing with Luda is he was on the radio, so he was a radio personality, and then he crossed over into
the rap game. Yep.
So that helped him if he was considered the hottest at that time.
That's just because people heard him all the time.
Buzz. Yeah, he had a buzz.
He had a buzz.
But I still, from 98 to 03, Jay-Z, if he wasn't statistically awards and sales and all that considered the best three, I mean the top hottest rapper in the game, he was at least the second.
1B at the least, bro.
Yeah, 1B at least. And we know how the rap game is. We know how the music industry in general is. You could be here today, gone tomorrow. And for him to have that stretch of dominance, so to speak, to me, that makes him the hottest and best for that 98 to 03 era.
Yeah,
that you could consider.
But yeah, I won't. Nah. Finish. I don't think he got 03, bro. But we're gonna talk about 02.
Because of 50. Right? No, I get it.
But
yeah, I get it.
But see, then we don't want to skip 02 because I think it was Jay in 02 too. But then he says Eminem and Nelly both dropped diamond albums again. But am I taking Eminem Show over Blueprint 2? Am I taking Nellyville over Blueprint 2? I don't think I can do that. Do that. Maybe Nellyville. But again, Eminem Show,
historically, I guess. I guess we're looking at it historically.
But we lived through these albums though, so we both listened to them. So it was like, am I taking those two albums over Blueprint 2? Blueprint 2 was a classic, just like Blueprint was. Yeah. So, and I can listen to Blueprint 2 front to back. I can't listen to Eminem Show or Nellyville. Well, maybe Nellyville. Nellyville was fire. But
yeah. No, I agree with that.
Blueprint 2 though, but 03 though, that's 50.
50, yeah. Hold on. Let's stop. When did Kanye come out with Graduation? That was 03 too, wasn't
it? So Kanye was 04 to 07.
Okay. So, all right. So, yeah, I get it.
Then, Kanye was 04 to 07.
So, 50, 03 for sure.
Kanye. But the thing about Kanye, though, is that Jay-Z took 2 years off to focus on Kanye because he didn't drop anything until 06.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So he focused on Kanye. Kanye was busting the game with those first 3 albums, classics.
Right.
Front to back, all
front to
three
back.
of them. All 3 of them. Front to back classics.
Uncontested.
So, uncontested. Yeah. So 04 to 03. Which is
weird because dude didn't mention him in his thing. He didn't mention Kanye.
Who? Jay-Z?
The clip that we're working on for this.
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear Kanye.
Go back and listen to it. He mentioned Kanye. He mentioned Kanye. But then he came back and said 06 was T.I., which T.I. didn't. He was killing the game. He had a lot of buzz.
No, bro. I don't agree with you on this.
You think T.I. was killing him?
I don't agree with you. Yeah.
T.I. was killing him?
T.I. was because this was the thing. It went from Kanye, T.I., and then we already know where we're about to go. Wayne killed it from 07 to
for 4 years straight.
Yeah. And so, yeah, T.I. was in there for sure. If he wasn't the best, I'll do the same thing to T.I. that I did to Jay-Z. If he was not considered the best, he was top 2, top 3.
Top 2, top 3.
Yeah.
I can dig that. And I mean, but the only thing I can say is that even because Kingdom Come was an okay album for Jay. Mm-hmm. But let me go to just looking at T.I.'s, you know what I'm saying? Looking at T.I.'s albums, though, it's like maybe. I mean, I guess I can concede to that. Because
what was 07 though? It was
06 he dropped King, which was a fire ass album.
And
then 07 he dropped T.I. versus T.I.P. That was also a fire album.
Oh yeah.
And then
Grand Hustle, homie.
And then in 08 he dropped Paper Trail, which was probably one of his best albums.
Yeah.
So yeah. T.I. had it. T.I. had it in 06. But 08 2011, 2012, Lil Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne.
100%.
100%. Wayne was on everybody. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying to you, Sticks. What is the criteria? Because in all categories that I mentioned, awards, sales, features, popularity, from 07 to 11, it was Wayne. Wayne had the most sales. He was on all the songs. He was featured on everybody's song. He definitely was the most popular, and he was getting
100%.
crazy awards. So unanimously, Wayne during that time, man, like you can't even compete. It's nobody near Wayne in that span of time.
Not to mention not just albums, but mixtapes.
Exactly.
Flaming.
That's what I'm saying to you, man. So like this, I respect what Buddy the debate and the discussion that old Buddy was trying to introduce.
Take. He had a hot
but
take.
You got to bring a little bit more set up more parameters when you're talking about this, because it's many ways that you can go, and I 100%. Guess that's why we're talking about it, because it's complex, right?
It's so complex.
But you got to give the parameters so you can reel it in, because if you don't, then everybody's going to bring in their piece of opinion and have their facts that they feel like fits why somebody's the best or the hottest, when really the best or the hottest is truly an opinion. It's whoever you think it is. It's not really a fact, unless you're saying, oh, well, because he has the most record sales, he's the hottest. I feel like, and this is what I was going to say earlier, but I'll just let you continue. I feel like Jay-Z is a mix of Kareem or LeBron and Jordan. He has the longevity. He also has that stretch where he was just up there killing the game. So and for me, that was 98 to 03, where every album he dropped, it was like, okay, this is a good album.
Yeah.
So he got major classics, and he's still in the rap game, so to speak, where everybody, some of the people that we mentioned, like you, when the last time? So you said 2 weeks ago, when the last time you heard a Jay-Z album or record? I said 2 months ago. When the last time you heard Luda on a track?
You haven't in a while, bro.
Exactly. When the last time you heard Nelly on the track?
It's been a minute.
Obviously, DMX passed away. God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
Tupac passed away. God rest his soul. Biggie passed away. God rest his soul. Everybody else he mentioned, T.I. When the last time you heard T.I. on the album?
He dropped Libra like a year and a half ago, but
I didn't even know that was a project, honestly.
Yeah, he dropped Libra he dropped Libra in 2000. He dropped Libra in 2021, so almost about a year and a half ago.
Yeah. So my take on the argument is give some parameters to this so people can actually have an intelligent conversation, because in the NBA, with the debate that everybody has, Jordan versus any great NBA player who's the GOAT, without it being said, you know what the argument is. We're going off of points. We're going off of championships. We're going off of everything else.
A myriad of different things.
Whereas this one is like, how do you determine that? What is the defining factor, or the group of categories that we're saying, all right, based off of this person was the hottest this year. This person was the hottest this year. Because after that, is, if nothing, it's truly a matter of opinion.
It's true opinion. And that's why it was a good conversation to have, because he was trying to fit all of that in a 1 minute clip. Yeah. So, and he got it in, and some of his points were valid, but it's like, what are you going? That's like D-Lo said, what are you going off of? Like, what are you basing this off of? Because a lot of these years, Jay-Z outsold these motherfuckers. Jay-Z out-awarded these dudes. Like, a lot of these years, Jay-Z was still on the top of his game, just based off of, just based off of different criteria that these award shows and the different people actually take into account. But but I don't know, from 04 to 07 and 08 to 11, Kanye and Lil Wayne had that. But like you said, it was from 98 to 03, Jay-Z all day, every day.
Yeah. And but even after 03, 04 to 2018, again, if we're talking about awards, he was getting some type of award, even still. So I mean, maybe he wasn't the best, but he was still relevant, very relevant,
very, very relevant.
So again, what are we talking about? Are we talking about a short span, or are we talking about longevity? Especially with rap, you hear today, gone tomorrow. I mean, shit, nobody knows where Lil Pump is right now. Nobody knows where. You know what I mean? So we talking about this type of
Lil
stuff.
Pump is crazy.
Yeah. 5 years you're gonna be on Love and Hip Hop.
What? I was just about to say.
You feel me?
Lil Pump is crazy. But nah, it was definitely a good conversation to have, mainly because like you can have GOAT conversations about a lot of different things. Yeah. And a lot of people have Jay as they GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Right. Even wasn't it Rolling Stone that just put out Jay-Z was #1 rapper of all time?
Yeah.
And we don't even know what their criteria was. But at the same time, at the same time, it's something that you can't argue because everybody in the world at some point had Jay-Z at #1.
He didn't argue it, but he was like,
okay. Say Lil Wayne said Lil Wayne was like, they got me at 9? Who they got above me? Like, what?
The funniest one was a couple years ago where they said Jay-Z, Eminem. He was like, yeah, Eminem for sure. That's my dog. And he said, Gucci.
Gucci man?
Who?
Gucci who?
Gucci man?
Gucci man?
Shout out my nigga Gucci.
Shout out my nigga Gucci. Yeah, it was so funny. Gucci who? Gucci man?
Yeah.
But that is crazy though. But it's like I said, there's some spans in there where he said some names and was like, okay. But just based off of sales, okay, I guess you can say Eminem, I guess you can say Nelly. Of course, Get Rich or Die Trying was that deal. Man,
without question.
Everybody
was listening to that.
But at the same time, yeah, you said that what?
Everybody was listening to that, and that he came out with that right when we were, what was that? Right before the summer of 2003.
Mm-hmm.
And from that point until December or January 2004 was played.
Probably the only album I played the whole semester of my freshman year of college, bro.
Yeah, man.
The whole, bro, I'm telling you. But not even that though. But not even that. Trap Music also dropped that summer.
Yeah, Trap Music. Yeah,
Trap Music was a good album too. It's like, but it wasn't better than Get Rich or Die Trying. But Trap Music was definitely fire. So it's like,
it was up there,
bro. Like, I don't know, bro.
But the Black Album was good.
The Black Album was good. Fire. Yeah, Black Album was
that's
fire.
When the Black Album came out, 03. So
03, yeah.
50 took over, but the Black Album was a good project.
Black Album was definitely a good project. So I mean, it really just depends. I want y'all to let us know in the comments. How do y'all feel about this debate? And who do y'all think the greatest of all time rapper is? I want y'all to tell us in the comments. If you really want to, if y'all hear our opinion, what's y'all opinion? Let us know down in the comments.
Let us know. My boy Sticks, episode 21. I said
21.
I said 19 last week.
21.
21. 21.
21.
Can you do something for me?
Yeah. Oh, he did that.
He did it. Yo, so yeah, episode 21 done, my boy. How you feeling?
Hey man, as I say every single Sunday, man, I love doing this with you, bro. I look forward to this on Sunday afternoons, man. So I appreciate you for going through this journey with me, my G. And it's only the sky's the limit from here, bro. The sky's the limit from here. I'm loving it, bro. Yes, sir.
Sky's the limit. I wholeheartedly agree and reciprocate that sentiment to you as well, my boy. But this has been Too Complex. We hope you enjoyed today's show. You can find us on all your major podcasting streaming platforms. Make sure that you subscribe and so you don't miss any of the episodes. Follow us on all our social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And remember, if it ain't too complex, it ain't complex at all. We appreciate your support. And until next time,
salute.